Hello everyone, salutations. So today we are going to solve uh, PHP coding, 12th science, Maharashtra State Board syllabus, 12th science IT. Okay. So skill set 3, server side scripting PHP, and today we are going to solve SOP 6. The coding is very simple. I have tried to make it very simple. Okay. Uh, so kindly pay attention. Write a program using PHP to calculate electricity bill by accepting the limits. Okay, so for first 100 units, it should be multiplied with 4. That means if the unit entered by the user is within 100, that means if it is 50, okay, the user has entered 50 units, so 50 into 4, correct? Then for next 100, that means if the user is entering 150, more than 100, okay? So first 100 units should be multiplied by 4 and the remaining 50 units should be multiplied by 5. That is how you should do the calculation for this question. And for rest all units, that means for first unit it is fixed. For first units you have to multiply with 4. For next 100 units you have to multiply with 5. And for remaining you have to multiply with 6. So let us consider the user is entering 250. Okay, 250. So 250 means 100 plus 100 plus 50, right? So for first 100 units multiplied with 4, that gives 400 rupees. For next 100 units it should be multiplied with 5, so that will give us 500 rupees. And for remaining 50 units you have to multiply with 6, so that is going to give us 50 multiplied by 6, that is 300 rupees. Okay, so adding 400 plus 500 plus 300, the total is 1200 rupees. So the user has to pay 1200 rupees. That is how the calculation must take place. Now I have already prepared the coding. Let us try to execute it here. Now, as you know very well, the coding for PHP has to be saved in the server software. So you must install a server software. There are many server softwares, but in our textbook XAMPP, one server software is suggested, that is XAMPP. You can directly install that software. Okay, so let me just show you. In C drive, after installation you will find a XAMPP folder in this manner. Double click on XAMPP folder. There will be many more folders inside that, pre-installed folders. Okay, so there is a folder known as htdocs. I have opened this htdocs folder. In htdocs folder you can save your PHP file. So you have to save your file here. That means in real life, the professional website developers, they store their files inside the root directory of the server software like this. Okay. So for HTML and JavaScript, we saved our file anywhere. In D drive, we created a folder, or in desktop, we created a folder. So that is the folder inside our local drives. Okay. But for server side scripting, you have to save your files inside the server software like this. Okay, so this is the example which we are seeing how in real life the websites are executed. So basically the HTML files or whatever the files of websites are available for the website is available, they are so stored inside the server. Okay, so I have created a folder, a separate folder for this program, that is SOP 6. Okay, otherwise you can just save it outside like this. Here also I have saved applications.html.cc, index.php, mydemo.php, welcome.php like this. The file should be available here inside XAMPP folder, htdocs folder. Okay, otherwise if you want to save it inside a folder separately, you can create a folder just like I made here, SOP 6. Double click and I save the file with the name build.php. Okay, so I will just execute the coding. Okay, let us see the output for our 250 units which we calculated just now, orally calculated. What should be the amount for 250 units? So for execution, what you have to do, you have to open a web browser and type localhost See, because I have executed the output, I am getting this URL. I will type it separately for you. So localhost forward slash. If you are saving the file inside the folder, you have to mention the folder name also. But if you are not saving separately in a folder, just directly saving inside htdocs, then just provide the file name. Okay, like bills.php. But if it is in separate folder inside htdocs, then mention the folder name also like this. But the folder name should be exactly the way you made. Okay, so if I here you can see my folder name is in uppercase SOP6. Here while typing, if I type SOP in lowercase, the folder names may not match and probably I will not get the output. So type it exactly the way it is, okay, and provide the file name like this. Separate the folder name, file name and the server name with forward slashes. At the ending of file name, the extension should be there. The file name also should be matching exactly the way you saved it. Okay, like here I gave bill. It is totally in lowercase. But here while typing, if I make a mistake, okay, that is B capital. So I will not get the correct output. It is not going to match with my exact file. Okay, and entire thing should be typed inside the address bar. See, this is the address bar. Okay, and press enter. Hmm. Okay. I think I did not start the server software. Okay, first of all, I have to start the server software. So first of all, I have to start the XAMPP control panel. See, XAMPP control panel. Yes, Apache server. We are going to connect with Apache server. You can connect with other servers also, but Apache server is convenient. Just click on start button. Now the server software is available. So once again, I will attempt to, yes, now see, I have got the output. Okay, so we did a oral calculation for 250 250 units, correct? So for the first 100 units 400 rupees, second 100 units 500 rupees, and next 50 units 300 rupees. Let us see what we get. 250, correct? While doing oral calculation also we got 1200. Okay, so 400 plus 500 plus 300, that brings us, the total brings to 1200. So the user has to pay 1200 rupees. Okay, so according to the question our output is correct. So let us see in the coding what we have done. The coding is very simple. So first of all, using HTML you have to develop a very simple form. Okay, now pay attention to the coding. Doc type HTML basic structure we have, head tag HTML tag, title I gave electricity bill. Here you can see the title is also displayed as electricity bill in the title bar of the web page. Okay, then head tag closes, body opens. I gave a background color so with the help of BG color attribute to look it more attractive. Otherwise it is going to be a white color web page. So I gave light salmon color. You can give any choice of color. If you do not give any color, then also it's correct. No problem. Now h1 tag I gave, a line attribute I gave so that a heading is displayed in the center. Calculate electricity bill by accepting units, and you can see it's exactly displayed in the center like this. Okay. Then I started form tag, and the method here it is important. Okay, because PHP has given us statements like dollar underscore get and dollar underscore post. Okay, so that the whatever submission is done through the form, that can be directly used for your PHP coding. Okay, we will see how it is done. So name of the form you can give, if you can give any name. Okay, action also if you want you can give. Method is compulsory, you have to provide. I give post, you can give get also. Okay, but if you are giving get here in the PHP coding also you have to use dollar underscore get. Okay, so that whatever submission you are doing, it is properly linking with your PHP code, and all the checking, that means all the validations, calculations are done properly. And the content of the form is really very simple, nothing much. You can see just a number field with the help of input tag we created. Input type is equal to number. Name, providing name or the ID, at least name or ID you must give. Okay. So here I have given name as unit. Now singular tags in HTML are closed like this. You can give a forward slash at the ending like this. Okay. If you avoid it, then also no problem. Okay, so angular bracket closes. Now see, breaks are also singular tags. You can give a closing in this manner just by putting a forward slash like this at the end of the tag name like this. Okay, so two break tags, then one submit button. Input type is equal to submit name. I give submit. Okay, you want you can give any other name also. Then value, calculate amount, which is displayed exactly on the button. Calculate amount. Okay, now PHP coding, what we need to do. Okay, so let us talk about this later. Okay, but first of all, it is very important that when you start your PHP statements, all the PHP statements must be inside this delimiter. This delimiter is to start, indicate the start of PHP language. Okay, so sorry, that is angular bracket question mark PHP. Okay, then all the statements of PHP, they end with this delimiter, that is question mark angular bracket. Just like JavaScript statements, you include inside the script tag, opening, closing the container of the script tag. Similarly, PHP coding has to be included inside this delimiter, opening and closing. All right. Now, uh, regarding these four statements, we will talk later. First, let us talk about this because this is exactly related to our question. Okay, how we are doing this breakup of 400 100 units, first 100 units with calculation 4 rupees. Okay, second 100 units and remaining 100 units. So first of all, we are taking a variable declaration is in PHP is done like this. Okay, you can give any name. Okay, just like we gave variable names in JavaScript, same to same. But in JavaScript, variable names, they are declared with the help of keyword var. In PHP, it is declared with the help of dollar symbol, dollar special character. Is equal to what? Okay, so what is going to be stored inside this variable? Whatever we are typing inside this number field. Name of this number field is unit. Okay, so similarly, whatever is available inside the number field whose name is unit, okay, has to be stored inside this variable name unit. Okay, that means whatever user is going to be entering in the number field should be stored inside this variable unit. Okay, and since the form submission method is post, right? So here we must use this statement, that is dollar underscore post. And PHP is case sensitive, so in textbook it is mentioned like this in uppercase. So you have to compulsorily use in uppercase while typing the coding. Okay, that precaution you have to take. Statements must end with semicolon. So here I have given semicolon. All right. And the parameter, that means which particular element you are considering. In a form, there may be many elements, there may be many controls. Okay, so for which specific control you are talking about. That means what control which is accepting some value, okay, which control has to be considered for saving the value in this variable. Okay, so that is identified through the name, and that is why name attribute is quite important over here, and the method of submission is important. Okay, use this one so that whatever user is going to enter inside the text box is going to be saved. So if user enters 250, the value of this variable will be 250. Now whatever user enters, whatever value is saved inside this variable, I wanted to convert it to integer or float. If you want to convert it in integer, use the function int val, and if you want it to convert in full float value, then use the function float val. Okay, so this is the function available in PHP. You can use it. Parameter. Now parameter is provided inside this parenthesis because it is a function, and the variable name can be provided. That means whatever is value available inside this variable, convert that into float. Okay, and here for the post, okay, you have to mention the name of that particular control inside square bracket. Okay, inside square bracket, and provide the name inside the single quotes like this. And the statement with semicolon. Now after the value is passed inside the variable, okay, value through the number field is passed inside the variable, the value available in the variable is converted into float. Now we can start our calculation. Okay, so we have to determine what the user is entering, if it is within 100 or more than 100 or more than 200. Okay, so if it is within 100, we are using if statement. If, that means whatever the user has entered, which is stored in the unit, which is also converted in float. Okay, if it is less than or equal to 100, so simply multiply this with 4. Okay, and to save the answer in some variable, I have used a variable $bill. So the answer will be saved here in this variable $bill, and display the output. To display the output in JavaScript, we use document.write statement. So that is going to be replaced. In PHP, you have to use echo statement. Okay. So using echo statement, this is the string that we want to display. Your electricity bill amount is a gap I have given. So in output also I have got this. Your electricity bill amount is a gap is there. And the answer. Okay. So answer which is stored inside $bill. Okay. $bill variable. So concatenation. In JavaScript, we follow the concatenation symbol as plus. Here in PHP, we follow period symbol and name of the variable and the statement with semicolon. Quite easy. Okay, so for first 100 units, it's sorted. The calculation was easy. Just multiply it, the variable name, multiply it with 4. Okay, now next. Else if the unit entered by the user is greater than 100, and less than or equal to 200. Here we have used logical operator to combine both the conditions, and specifically logical operator and we have used because both the conditions must be true. Okay, the unit has to be greater than 100 and within or equal to 200. Okay, so this is the variable name. Variable name, it is greater than 100. This is the conditional operator, less than, greater than and less than equal to we have used. Then curly brackets to indicate what amount of statements, what number of statements are considered in this condition. Okay, so first what we are doing, we have to, now if the amount is, for example, user has entered 150. Okay, so the first 100 units has to be multiplied with 4, remaining 50 units has to be multiplied with 5. Okay, so here we are taking another variable, temp. You can take any other variable name. I have taken temp, and multiplying the first 100 units with 4 as per our question. Then remaining units has to be subtracted with 100, correct? If the user has entered 150, so 100 minus 150 minus 100, answer will be 50. So units left, another variable I have taken units left, $units left, and so total units, that means whatever user has entered, for example 150, and subtract that with 100, so that will be the remaining units. So the remaining units has to be multiplied with 5, correct? So final bill, not final bill means bill, here we are going to store our answer, just like we store the answer using this variable. Here also we are using that same variable, okay, to store our final answer. Now this temp, so what is this temp? 100 units calculation, first 100 units calculation and add it with remaining units calculation. So remaining units calculation is over here. That means total units minus 100. So that is the number of units and multiply it with 5. Okay, and provide this inside a bracket like this. Okay, so bracket rule, you know, mathematics calculation. First bracket is solved and then remaining calculations are done. So accordingly, this multiplication will be done first. Okay, and then it is going to be added with 400, and finally we will get our answer. Using equal statement, we will display. Okay, the answer. And finally, our last condition is if the unit is more than 100. Okay, so for our last condition, we do not generally, we never give any other condition. So we never mention if statement. That means if the condition, if the user is entering amount less than 100, so use these two statements. If the user is entering more than 100 and less than 200, less than or equal to 200, use this these statements. And both the condition does not match if it is more than 200. So this, for more than 200, these statements will be executed. Else, now curly bracket is necessary because it is more than one statement. Okay. So what we are doing? First 100 units calculation, then second 100 unit calculation. First 100 units should be multiplied with 4. Second 100 units should be multiplied with 5. Add both of them, store in a variable. Here we use temp, here also we use temp. Then what are the remaining units? So first 200 units calculation is confirmed, that is 900. 400 plus 500, 900. 900 rupees is fixed. Okay, for 200 units. Then remaining you have to subtract it. So what is the remaining units? So remaining units here, what we are doing, total number of units entered by the user minus 200, which is fixed here, 100, 100, that is 900. Okay, 200 units is fixed, you have to minus, okay, subtract it, and then multiply this whole thing with 6, correct? Okay, so this we are providing in brackets, and bracket will be solved first and then multiplied with 6. Then finally we are using this variable $bill to store our final answer. Then temp means this 900 rupees calculation plus remaining unit calculation is here. Add both of them and that is the final amount. So for example, the user is entering. Now we saw the calculation for rupees 250, right? Here we have got the answer for 250 rupees. That is, user has to pay 1200. Now for 400, let us do an oral calculation first. So for 400 rupees, your first 200 units is fixed. That is, for 200 you have to, for first 200 units you have to pay 900 rupees, correct? Then for example, the user is entering 400. So 400 minus 200, that will be remaining 200. Okay, so for remaining 200, so 200 multiplied by 6. So the answer is 6 2s are 12. Okay, so 1200 plus 900. So addition you have to do, 9 plus 2 11 and 2100. Okay, so user has to pay 2100 rupees for 400 units. Okay, so let us see we get the correct output or not. I entered 400 and clicked here. So answer is 2100. Okay, so one more calculation we will see for, let us consider 475. Okay, 475. If the user enters 475 units, so for first 200 units it is confirmed, that is for first 200 units user must pay 900 rupees. Now what is the remaining amount? So 475 minus 200, answer is 275. So multiply 275 with 6. Okay, so 6 5s are, we get 30, 6 7s are 42, 45, 5 carry up on 4, 6 2s are 12, 16. So 1650 multiplied by 900. Not multiply, add. 2550. So let us see if the user enters 475, correct, 2550. So our answer is correct. Okay, so this is how you can check correction. That means if your program is working correctly or not. So answer is correct. We are getting correct answer all the time, and this program will definitely execute. Follow all the steps and execute. You can take a screenshot of it. I will reduce the font size for you. Control A, format menu, font. Okay, take a screenshot of it. And here. Okay. Now see once again. First take the screenshot of the form, coding for the form here. Then for PHP, wait. For the first condition. Okay. Now is this is set function I am going to explain you. That one is remaining these three lines here and remaining two conditions here till the ending. Okay. Kindly take a screenshot properly. Now, why these statements are needed? These statements is also important. You can either include in the starting or at the ending. After here also, I mean here also you can put that if statement. Okay. Now, pay attention. Control X, Control V. Hmm. Now, whatever you are submitting, that means entire form data when you submit. So what should happen after clicking on the submit button? The function should execute, correct? This function which we created will it must execute. Okay, so we are using if statement. If is set. Now is set is a function which checks that whatever is happening inside this function, whatever validation or calculation is happening inside this function, the answer is not null. That means you are getting some answer all the time. Okay, so that is the use of isset function. Now since isset is a function, it is going to have a parenthesis. Methods and functions have parenthesis. Okay, so submit, that is the name of the button. Okay, here, sorry, here. So if I give name of the submit button as sub, here also I have to use sub. This is the name of the control. So name of the submit button, and our submission method is post, that we have to mention. Okay, and get and post, the parameter of get and post is included inside the square bracket. So that square bracket, and inside single quote I have to mention the name of the control. I gave it submit. Here also you mention for that number field we followed this one, right? This one. So same thing over here also, but this entire thing is included inside isset function. Okay, so this is the covering of the isset and this is the covering of your condition, if condition. All right. So after this square bracket, two parentheses must close, curly bracket opens, curly bracket close, and mention the name of the function. So this is going to ensure that whatever calculation and validation is happening inside the function is not null, not empty, that is checked by the isset function, and hence it is important. Once again, I will tell you the steps. So for the steps, you must always save the file inside the htdocs folder of XAMPP. Inside C drive, XAMPP folder, htdocs folder, either you can save it outside or create a folder and then save the folder file inside the folder, the way I did, or you can just save it outside. Okay. Then first start the XAMPP control panel and click on start button. Start the server. Okay. Now once the server is ready, provide the server name in the address bar, local host, and while typing folder and file name, be very specific. The way you provided the folder and file name while saving it or creating it, exactly that has to be repeated. Uppercase, lowercase has to be matched. Okay, so if you are saving the file by creating a folder in, okay, so first of all provide the folder name, and then / file name extension .php. Separate the server name, folder name and file name with / and just press enter. You will get the output. Okay, and if there is any error, it tells you where particular line number, so and so error is there. You have to rectify the error. Okay, now once again, just for your precaution, I will you can take the screenshot. Okay, first take the screenshot of the form and do the coding part by part. Okay, first create the form like this. Okay, start the PHP coding and create your first function. First function, then no, sorry, this is the function, but inside the function, our first condition, this is the condition, this is second condition. Okay, take the screenshot properly. PHP starts, function begins, variable declaration and type conversion, then first condition, second condition, last condition, function closes. Then with isSet function, we mention our submit button name through $_post and provide the name of the function, so that when we click the submit button, this function must execute. Okay, and finally PHP closes, body close, HTML close, closure of the web page. Okay, so I hope so you have taken the screenshot properly. Kindly execute it. The coding is very simple. Question was very simple. I hope so the explanation was helpful to you. So if you find this demonstration helpful, kindly share it with your friends. I will see you in the next video. And if you want any other demonstration from PHP, kindly mention in the comments. Okay, now this question was also asked by a student, I think so. Okay, so I have created this demonstration video. So kindly, if you have any request, please mention in the comments. I will definitely create a demonstration video for execution. Bye everybody. Thank you. Thank you for being very patient. Take care everyone. See you next